I don't think I can actually say who it was, but like a big rapper from Toronto, the biggest rapper from Toronto, happened to work on his team, and he sat us down and he gave us a bunch of bold truths where he was like, listen, like, you guys are playing acoustic jazz. Like, if you really want to make a living of this, like, you either start teaching music as well as playing jazz festivals and singing to only people with white hair, or you figure out how to make Taylor Angus sneakers and fucking, and all this merch and crazy stuff like that, because this famous artist who is leagues ahead of you guys is about to record her second record, and she's already $2 million, still in $2 million in debt from her first record. So you can't be going at this thinking like, oh, we're just going to have a good life, do. It's like, if you're in this, like...
like those souls you have?
Yeah.
Be ready to sell them.
Yeah, exactly. So it was just a situation where we were like, I don't think either of us like this enough.
This is a question right off the bat here. I don't even know if we're going to use this yet, and I don't know if we're going to get around to this, but how fun is it to roast Liam? Because like I'm like cool with the guy, but man, you guys just like tee off on that.
Oh
and,
man,
like,
yeah.
It's just I wish I just knew him a little bit better so I could get in there every once in a while. You know?
See, he knows when the cameras go on that like that's his role.
Yeah,
we're still bad like when the cameras go down, but it's more of like a helping him be aware of certain behavior patterns that he does. Because like the guy, like I mean. He has come so far. Like the dude used to be like addicted to just poppers and like collecting OSAP and was just like, this is my life, and was resigned to that. Yeah. And now it's like, I mean, he's got 3 jobs if you count like, like Ruckus is now making money as a podcast, and like fucking he makes money with like Strip Joker and everything like that. So it's like, the guy has completely turned his life around.
No, absolutely.
He's still missing some stuff though. So.
No, my favorite roast is just like, it looks like you bought all your hair, but from 3 different places. Like that's a crazy roast. After he dyed his eyebrows, like that was top tier.
That's what I mean. I feel like sometimes he takes it. You know what I mean? He
does. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
He actually feels like he needs to change his ways.
Yeah. No,
but not for the best.
No. Well, no. Sometimes, man. Like sometimes it will. Like we did a trip to Pembroke to get it like a potential sponsor, and like I popped an Adderall, and it increases aggression if you're around irritants. Like if you're not, then it's fine. But picking him up, bro, and the like level of non-self-awareness that man had was fucking sending me. I was just like, bro, like you are at YouTuber prank star levels of humor right now, and you need to dial that back because it's not funny. Like he was like yelling at cashiers, being like, Ruckus Productions, don't forget to subscribe. I'm like, it's 10 in the morning. Like we're all trying to get double doubles. Like
it's fucking Pembroke.
Yeah, like he's walking around in a Pornhub sweater in like a fucking grocery store where there's kids and shit, and I'm like, bro, like this is not the infamy we want, like yeah. I don't know. I'm all for it. It's just like that's like when you watch, this is why I don't like a lot of like on the street cringe material where like I like Tom Green, but like where the joke is the audience. It's like I like guys like the Impractical Jokers where they're the joke and it's not meant to make other people feel uncomfortable. Like that to me is like so genius about it. So when shit like that happens, it makes me uncomfortable because I'm like, there's this fucking kid now that's like,
right,
and it's not like he doesn't stick out. He doesn't look like a regular guy. Like he's got he's got a huge red beard, tattoos fucking everywhere. He's a bigger guy wearing a shirt and wearing a big sweater that says Pornhub. It's like some kid's gonna be like, Daddy, what's that?
If you don't know him, very intimidating human being.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Very intimidating.
Yeah, for sure.
Sweet. Logan Brown, everyone.
Logan Brown.
Yo, look at this fucking watch, too. Bro, look at our shit. Why would you, like...
Look at that, dude.
They're going to take one look at me and they're going to be like, why would we watch this fool? Like, what success does this man have? He looks like he fucking got all of that. It looks like all of his clothes have been pissed in at least once.
We look like we all just walked out of Value Village, but we were, like, thrifting and you were just...
Yeah. I work there. You know what I mean?
You just took the red smock off.
Yeah. Straight up. It's like, I'll have drip like that a month from now when I have, like, fucking tenure and they let me have the discount. But right now, I got to stick with this.
Build up your coupons.
Sort,
Yeah. Oh,
Logan Brown, man.
Logan Brown.
Logan Brown.
This is wild. It's weird.
Logan Brown.
Logan Brown.
Logan.
Sweet name.
It's weird that like you're not an Iranian dude with dreadlocks and you're not like a 700-pound caveman. Like it's very strange.
I knew this was gonna come up at some point. Had a feeling it might have been right at the start.
Yeah.
But this is I don't know. I feel like is there gonna be some issues here? Whose house? Because I was like, this guy, like, this is kind of your house too.
Yeah, I guess so. Hey,
You know,
fuck, yeah,
you
this
record
is-
here just as often.
Yeah.
know?
I'm comfortable in the seats. I'm comfortable on this is cool. This
Is
is
it too comfortable?
We
though?
own the house, though.
you know
what I
for
mean?
sure. Yeah, no,
Off camera, I said I would never say this out loud, but
Yeah.
like I did say it earlier. But it's we own the house, and you're like the dog who like comes in every once in a while.
No, absolutely. Yeah. No, make no mistake. Like one missed payment, and I'm getting edited out of this video. Like, for sure. It's gonna be a bike horn. What do you think, Logan? Like that's what. Like, there's no way. Yeah.
Logan Brown, though. I mean, it sounds like kind of like a fake name. Like, is that a stage name or
No,
like
it's a family name.
It's a family name.
Yeah. No, and my dad, who's like the white one, his last name is Brown. My mom's maiden name is White. It's ridiculous.
Come on, that writes itself. Right
yeah,
there.
it's fucking it's weird.
It sounds like a name where like you did some shit in your past.
Yeah, it sounds like a
new
witness
fake
protection.
name. Yeah,
Yeah, Logan.
and they
Brown.
shipped you to Ottawa. You used to actually
Yeah.
do crimes in Massachusetts or something. You know?
Or you're a witness to a crime, like you're a witness protection
Yeah.
program.
Yeah.
Do you ever get jealous of people with better names than you?
No, because there isn't any.
Wow. Okay.
No, dude. Other than like Greek motherfuckers, like dudes named Tobias and shit that go by Tobias. No
Right.
Tobys. No Tobys. But Tobias, that guy's got me.
I think Arrested Development kind of
Ruined it.
Oh yeah, Tobias
tarnished.
Funke or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude. Help everyone! It's a fire sale. Oh, dude, that's the best. That is the fucking best.
I don't. I used to have issues with my name. I just be like, man, I just wish it was better.
Right.
But I was named after my dead grandfather, so like that's just I felt kind of like guilty for thinking that ever. You know what I mean?
Right.
It was a hard it was a very hard thought complex to have as like an 8-year-old.
Yeah. No, I get. I mean, I can't relate because I was named after the comic book character Logan. So like,
Shut up.
Yeah. No, my dad's a huge comic book nerd. Yeah, his favorite character is actually the Hulk, but he's like, I can't name this kid Bruce Brown.
like you're not
cannot.
worthy of Bruce Brown. Is that why you're not worthy of Bruce Banner?
Yeah,
Or like,
yeah.
okay.
He's like, I can't give him two,
Right.
like 2B. That like he's gonna get fucking tortured. in
See, because
school.
I was honestly thinking, I was like, there's a lot of comics that do like the different, like the Bill Burr. You know what I mean?
I was gonna say,
Oh,
Jen
yeah.
Jeffries.
It'd be very Stan Lee of him to actually do the
Yeah,
the
exactly.
double letter.
Easter egg, exactly.
And I mean, like, it didn't matter. Like, I was like a chubby kid in public school, and I couldn't run very fast, and they called me Slogan. So it's like it didn't fucking help that. Like, you may as well just double down, and call me Bruce Brown. You know what I mean? Like,
Of all the Marvel characters, though, you do look most like Wolverine.
thank you,
Yeah.
thank you. I will take
Yeah.
that. Thank you.
That's good. It's not like I said like fucking Ant-Man.
Is it because I'm short? Like, it's fucking. That's why.
I think it's like the beard, the eyes.
sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The hair. I don't know.
You
I
look
don't know
like
what
you
it
could
is.
survive in the woods for
Yeah.
a bit.
I have survived in the woods for a little bit. Yeah.
See, that's
Yeah.
what I mean.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
Exactly
I mean,
what I said.
Wait, what do you mean?
well, like it was a fucking lake house, and I had to.
Oh.
We got wood delivered to us, and there were trees everywhere, and we had wireless internet. But it was, I mean, compared to fucking,
Yeah.
you know.
Roughing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was slow internet, man. It had a limit, like fucking 1,000 gigs or whatever, and then it's like, what? And it slows down.
When your Netflix like is buffering and it gets to 99 and it just keeps going around. and
Oh
around
yeah,
and-
don't even get me like.
I know.
Are you the lake house guy that pulls out the acoustic?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What's
yeah.
your go-to song?
my go-to
Yeah,
song?
first song. You're annoying guy around the campfire.
It's a huge part of the night because the first song is like, is this one of those douchebag campfire song guys, or
Yeah.
is this guy gonna bring it for the next 3 hours?
My go-to song is either Tears for Fears. Everybody Wants to Rule the World, just because that's kind of like a bop.
Good one.
Or Dream a Little Dream, that Ella Fitzgerald, Louis Armstrong, old jazz standard. Because I do a mouth trumpet solo when I perform that song, so it's like,
Can we get a little trump?
what's that?
Can we get a little trumpet?
You a little?
Just a little trumpet?
I don't know, man. I don't know if I got the fucking.
If you do your mouth trumpet, he'll do his butt trumpet.
All right, wicked. Okay, I'm trying to think the key. Da-da-da-dun.
Oh, that's good.
Mm.
Oh, da-da-da-da.
That's good.
I feel like we should start like.
Don't.
You got that butt trumpet?
I'll count you in now. I'll count you in now.
Oh shit, dude.
Tell them who we're fueled by.
Fueled by Red Bull Canada. Grab a bowl with your buds.
Yeah.
Get some energy. Get those energy levels up. Sun's coming out. Spring's around the corner. Get outside. Do something fun. You're gonna need a Red Bull though.
You know what they say about spring, right? Goes great with Red Bull.
Logan Brown, everyone. I bring up the like if you'd be the acoustic guitar guy because you have a bit of a musical background.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I've been playing guitar since I was like 12 or 13. And I've been doing it as a job for over a decade. Well, over a decade. Yeah. It was started with Guitar Hero.
That's how you got started?
Yeah. I got the Wii version of the Guitar Hero, which is the best version. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I got the Wii version of Guitar Hero 3, and
best Guitar Hero game.
it was so good, and just like I just took to it. I crushed like the game, and that sound of the digital crowd just cheering at you. And here's the thing: I think this is probably why I'm like a dickhead lead guitar player now. The worse you played, the bigger the boos got. So it's like the more technical proficiency you had on the guitar, like the fake guitar, the better the cheers were. It was Guitar Hero, it was guitar focus. Like if you nail a solo, they go crazy, right? So that was what led me into like lead guitars. It's like, well, people will enjoy this more if I can play flashy stuff on the guitar. So like the first song I ever learned to play was Black Magic Woman on the guitar, and immediately went right to how do I play the solo? Like I didn't even care about like the chords or anything. I was just like, I want to play the guitar solo to Black Magic Woman, and then the rest was kind of
just
history.
pumping that into your veins.
Oh, absolutely, man. I used to sit before I got an actual guitar, I used to sit with the controller watching like Marty Schwartz guitar tutorials on YouTube, and I would mimic what he was doing to the best of my ability, because there's no strings on the fucking thing, but I would mimic to the best of my ability like the frets and where I would place my hands.
With the Guitar Hero guitar?
With the fake Guitar Hero guitar. Yeah, just for hours with my headphones on watching this guy be like, here's how you play Thunderstruck. It's this fret to this fret. But then I would go to school and I'd be like, yeah, I know how to play that song guitar. Fully, I didn't have a fucking guitar at the time. Like I did not,
It reminds me of like the Will Ferrell like air juggling scene in The Office.
Right, yeah.
Remember, nothing's impossible.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. Like as a kid, did you think you'd make it as far as you did in the music? Because you had some great strides as a musician when you were
man. Yeah, you know what? Like sometimes I look back and I think like, because obviously as a guitarist, when I was in my metal band, I wasn't singing for the first like couple of years doing this, and I was like, well, like obviously I want to be on the cover of Guitar World magazine, and that those things, like those publications are still a thing, but it's just not prominent in media anymore. Like everybody wants to be on Guitar World, but it's like guitarworld.com. Right, you know, or you want to be on like you want somebody to do like a rig rundown on Premier Guitar's YouTube channel.
Yeah,
you know? Nowadays it's not like the cover of the magazine and shit like that.
Feature tagged on a post.
Yeah. I would love for like PRS Guitars to repost my fucking TikTok and shit like that. That's how I've made it.
Paul Reed Smith would be so proud, man.
Yeah, dude.
So proud.
Yeah, look at how many fucking likes this kid got.
This kid's got chops, man.
Yeah. So that looking back on it now, I'm sure with context, if I talk to like 12-year-old me, that I'd be like, listen, you're not on the road with your death metal band, but you had a pretty sick fucking, you had and are currently having a pretty sick fucking go of it. So I'm sure he would understand.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Can we get like a little taste? What's the sick go? What does that look like?
Well, I started in death metal. And really only got into singing because like our singer left, and so I had to learn how to like.
Oh, did you even know you could sing at that point?
I knew I could carry a tune because the way that I write like guitar solos is I sing them first and then I'll learn how to play them. So I knew I could carry a tune and that I could sing in tune, but I didn't know anything about like tone and shit like that. And I had to learn how to scream first, so like I had to teach myself that, and then I could sing cleans. And then I discovered the Dave Matthews Band, and I started playing like acoustic guitar and writing my own songs, just being a real just fucking piece of shit.
Pierce both your ears.
Yeah. You just got them both pierced. Just puka shell necklaces and shit, just like, you know, wiggling my feet back and forth.
Jeans with the flip flops.
Yeah. Always wearing like fucking flannel, but never buttoning it up.
Muscle
Never.
shirt underneath.
Yeah, bro. 2 chest pubes, 2 at the time. Like
soul patch.
Yeah.
Dick bag.
At 18, they're like, please, Mr. Brown, like it's the hallways of the high school. Put that away. You're getting too much pussy. Please, Mr. Brown, you're getting too much ripe. Like fucking.
Save some for the rest of them.
Yeah. No, you cannot go down on Mrs. Flowers in the fucking break room. All right.
Again, come on.
Again, dude, bro. Like you got a detention for crushing too much puss.
What movie that's 4 stars on IMDb is this?
Yeah.
Where were we? What were we talking about?
I have no idea. Oh,
You're talking about how you, I think, went down on his teacher.
Yeah.
No, I never went down on my teacher. Never.
That would be a crazy story to
That-
break
that
right
would've
here.
been-
That'd be
yeah.
awesome.
No,
that never
get
came
someone
up on
fired,
Ruckus.
bro.
That's awesome. Dude.
No, man, like I was like again, high school, I was pretty dorky because like I got into like I was into the band thing. I was studying to go to Humber and everything like that. Like so, it was all jazz stuff. Like by the time I had figured out like how to write a song and how to like playing guitar that wasn't just like fucking Megadeth licks and stuff like that, I was trying to go to university for it. So it was like not glamorous. I wasn't serenading people John Mayer style. I was like looking at a piece of sheet music going and being like, I can't wait to waste $10,000 learning how to do this properly. Like that's yeah. So, and then learned how to make money in bars. So I decided not to go. I passed the audition, but I decided not to go so that I could just make money in
Like the audition to go to school.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
I decided just to make money in like shitty bars.
Just covers
well,
and
not
stuff?
shitty bars. I mean, they're great bars. Yeah. It started out a couple covers. I had like maybe 10 originals that I was doing at the time. And I had a band with me. And then I discovered looping technology, fired my band, and was like, well, $300 split between 3 people is $100, but $300 going to one person, that's like, I can move out with that kind of money. So I figured out how to like, loop and shit like that.
Yeah, it's fun capitalism
Yeah,
energy,
man.
dude.
Man,
Yeah,
I went
yeah,
to a
yeah.
concert. I went to an Ed Sheeran concert, and he did that. He just looped everything
Yeah,
by
yeah.
himself, stadium, like at Gillette Stadium in Boston. And afterwards, I was like, it was good, but like I'm kind of angry that he just packed like 60,000 people in here and then just stood up there himself and was like, boom, and then
Yeah.
just like looped that a bunch of
Yeah.
times. I'm just like, this is
Yeah.
stupid.
Yeah. You're
Yeah.
like, hey, fucking,
I want-
what?
yeah.
A 2-hour
Why
concert?
is
It's
Ed
like,
Sheeran not melting my face off right now?
no, for sure. Yeah. It's like, well, he fucking puts on a 2-hour show. Yeah, it takes him 40 minutes to do one song.
Yeah,
He's like,
exactly,
fucking,
bro.
boots, cat, boots, boot, cat, boots, cat, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, and hitting his guitar and shit. Yeah. No, I found that shit boring too. Like, I started, but I like, I'm competitive too. So like, I did the looping thing for like a year. And then I met a dude named John Ainsworth, who was a fingerstyle guitar player out of the UK. And he came over here he got his visa and just was doing a guitar festival and played a couple shows in Kingston. And the bartender at the club that I was playing a lot came up to me and he's like, man, he does like the thing that you do, but he does it without the looper. It's like really cool. And I was like, fuck this guy. So I ditched the looper and learned how to play fingerstyle. Just so I could,
That's
yeah,
sick.
yeah, that was cool.
So, because you ended up pivoting into comedy.
Yes.
So
yeah.
before you got into comedy, like what was that transition like? Like why did you get out of music?
Yeah, so I met a girl, and I performed with her as a jazz duo for like 6 years, and she was like, I mean, she's a wicked songwriter. She plays like 9 instruments. I really was just the guitar play. Like she would come up with 90% of the ideas. I would contribute on some of the songs, but a lot of the ideas were hers, and she was already being like workshopped with some labels with like a manager and stuff like that.
You were the throw the name on the end on the project at the very end of it.
Yeah. So I was in there really like I had a crush on her at the time, and I learned how to play that fingerstyle sort of thing like a couple weeks or maybe a couple months prior.
Yeah, you
And fucking, and her manager
Tell me
was
about
like,
them fingers.
she's like, well, we need a guitar player that can sing. And I'm like, oh, I can do that. And he's
And
like,
I
well,
can use my fingers
we'll need a bass player. And I'm like, I know how to fucking do that too. And he's like, well, we need a drummer as well. And I'm like, I'll do all of it. I'll do all of it on the guitar. Just let me be the only dude in this band, please. I don't need any competition.
Walk off the earth before walk off the earth.
Straight
bro.
up, man. Yeah. So that was
Crazy.
yeah. So we did that. We put out a couple of decent records. We were signed very briefly to Cadence Music, which was a division of Universal. And then we started we recorded one. We recorded one EP, like 6-track EP, called First Light of Dawn. It was dope. I really enjoyed my time like recording that. It was a lot of fun. At Catherine North Studios in Hamilton, which is where like City and Color records all their shit. Big Sugar, a lot of Canadian fucking bands will do their stuff. And we got the masters back, and the manager that we had at the time, who used to manage like the Trues and shit like that, he was listening to it and he's like, oh, it sounds like good, but it would be nice if like, you added a little bit of country here, maybe a little bit more twang there. And so we started to see the writing on the wall, because like country's still really popular in Canada, but at the time it was like the boom was like Boots and Hearts was the festival,
Right,
more so than
yeah.
Osheaga or Blues Fest. Like everybody was like Luke Combs could stab someone on the street and people would be like, what the fuck did that guy do to Luke Combs? You know?
Morgan Wallen said the N-word and people are like, yeah, you sing like a motherfucker.
They get away with that. Well, I mean, look at the fucking, you know what I mean? Like it's, yeah. So we saw the writing on the wall. Luckily, we had an exit clause installed in the thing, and we were like, we'll just take the masters, eat the cost of this, and release it independently on our own. And we did that, and Cadence went, okay, we're going in a different direction. The different direction happened to be Shawn Mendes, so womp womp, you win some, you lose some.
Damn.
And and I mean, he would have popped anyways. Like he was much more like poppy than we were, and much more willing to do fucking anything.
Anything?
You know,
You're good too,
Anything?
bro. You're good too, bro.
Don't worry. Thank you, Sean. I'm coming for you. You fucking. You may be Latino bitch. Like fucking, you know, I don't know. Like
it is ambiguous for sure.
Yes. Mendez, he speaks fluent Spanish, but white.
Yeah.
White.
I know you're not just that tan, Sean.
Yeah.
You're not just that tan.
Yeah. And he got darker after dating Camila Cabello. Like something was up there,
by
man.
association.
Yeah. Straight up, man.
Yeah.
Straight up. Yeah. So
something's not stirring the Kool-Aid there. I know. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
But so we left the label, put out another record at the same location like a year later. Toured with that for a little bit. Got some like we did Blues Fest. We like we went on the road with like a couple of like 80s. I don't want to say has-beens because like they're still working today. But like we went on the road with like Carol Pope. Did a couple of shows with the Tea Party, Jeff Martin. Did a couple shows with a guy named Howard Jones, who's like, your parents would love this guy. You know what I mean? Like, nobody watching this is gonna. Everybody has just opened Wikipedia and it's like, who the fuck is? But you're gonna see he's got a Wikipedia page. We went
Real
on the
measure of success.
Yeah. Did some cool stuff, and then we were able to gain the attention of like the Weeknd and XO Records. And then there was like back and forth between like, we should do this. And it was just the timing just never worked out. It was like, oh, we should have a meeting on this day in Toronto. We'd go to Toronto. And then it was like the Weeknd and Bella Hadid just broke up. So we got to fucking go all the way back to Ottawa because there's no way this guy's going to want to sit down and talk to a fucking acoustic jazz duo and be like, what can I do for you guys? Like he's putting out fires right now in his personal life. Then a couple more situations like that where it was like, oh, the timing just didn't work out. And then we were invited to the launch of, well, actually it was the launch of XO Records. So when he played that private party in, this like waterfront club in Toronto. I don't even remember because we weren't fans. Like we were a jazz duo. You know what I mean? Like when we know who the Weeknd is because we're not fucking. You know, like we're not lizards.
Amish,
yeah. You know what I mean? Like, but I mean, even my dad, like, I'm like, oh, the Weeknd's like interested. My dad was like, that's the guy with the funny hair, right? You know what I mean? Like it wasn't a situation where we were like, oh fuck, the Weeknd wants us. So we went. He's great live. Like fucking, I was quite impressed. But the whole time, like we were waiting on bated breath to get this like meeting with him. And it just, again, fell through. Like, he got swooped away. It was a very quick handshake and a high bye. And then he got swept away to do some press and stuff like that. And we had no time with the guy. Which, like, thinking about it now, it's like, of course, he just launched a record label. He has bigger things to do than talk to us about, like, what he can do for us and what, you know what I mean? Like, but that was kind of the last straw where we were just like, fuck it. I don't want to deal with that shit anymore.
Yeah. Did he know who you guys were when that handshake went down?
Yeah. No, it was just like a situation where it just the timing did not work out. Yeah. So, and I got to be completely honest. Like, as you said, I use the term "we" very loosely. Taylor, my ex, like she was the one. Like, she's a female vocalist. She was like 20 at the time. Like, they would have taken her and I immediately would have been like pushed to the side. But I was cool with that because if she gets signed to a fucking major label and starts working for the Weeknd, it's like that doesn't hurt us. You know what I mean? Right. By any stretch of the I'll just go back to playing fucking bars. I don't give a shit. Like, if she gets all the glory, like we buy a mansion because she fucking, makes a bunch of money working for the Weeknd. I don't care.
Okay, I'll take care of kids. To clean up, man.
Yeah, straight up, dude. I will be the help.
Someone's gonna have to do the laundry.
It's in my blood, anyways. That was racist. Wah, wah. I'm going to hell. No, you guys actually have a popular podcast. I shouldn't say. You have to edit that out.
We'll just edit in the Michael Richards part from his
Yeah. It was much worse. And then we had one more meeting with a guy who worked on, I don't think I can actually say who it was, but like a big rapper from Toronto, the biggest rapper from Toronto, happened to work on his team. And he sat us down and he gave us a bunch of bold truths where he was like, listen, like, you guys are playing acoustic jazz. Like, if you really want to make a living of this, like, you either start teaching music as well as playing jazz festivals and singing to only people with white hair, or you figure out how to make Taylor Angus sneakers and fucking, and all this merch and crazy stuff like that, because this famous artist who is leagues ahead of you guys is about to record her second record, and she's already $2 million, still in $2 million in debt from her first record. So you can't be going at this thinking like, oh, we're just going to have a good life. It's like, if you're in this, like, know that you're going to be like, you guys are going to, I am going to lose my hair because of stress in like, by the time I'm 30. So.
Oh, like those souls you have?
Yeah.
Be ready to sell them.
Yeah, exactly. So it was just a situation where we were like, I don't think either of us like this enough.
Right.
After everything. And again, her being a woman in the industry, she went through much more shit than I did. Like, tons of like, oh, you're cute, you cute little girl doing jazz, like weird passing comments to straight up creepy behavior from former managers. That was like if a year later the Me Too movement came out and it was like, fuck, you're too late. We should have said something. You know what I mean? Then she opened a store because she's, again, uber talented, was able to get into graphic design and everything like that, and opened up a store. And I kept on doing like bars and shit like that, and built up my reputation as the human jukebox. So my thing was, you can make any request you want. It's got to be an artist. You can't just request a specific song. Request an artist, put it in my tip jar, and if you stump me, you get all of the money in my tip jar. But if you don't, and I play your song, at least 90 seconds of your song, then I get to keep your money. So, and I've never stumped, and I kept that train kind of rolling until COVID took away my job. And,
Wow. Okay. That was a lot right there.
Yeah.
Let's back it up a little bit. We got to unpack some shit here.
Yeah, for sure.
What a roller coaster.
Okay.
That is the condensed version.
That's crazy, bro. That's a crazy story. This biggest artist in Toronto, manager, that you had this conversation with.
Yeah.
When you guys had that conversation, had you have been like, yeah, listen, I want to start selling shoes and doing this, what would that have looked like?
I don't think he was doing it as a favor. Just like we had a couple mutual friends, and he wasn't sitting down to be like, I'm going to mentor you guys, but like, I mean, the relation between this artist and Abel, the Weeknd, like, they're pretty close. So I would imagine maybe that combined with some mutual contacts that we had, he was like, all right, I'm in Ottawa. I'll sit down with him for 15 minutes or whatever. And,
Then he was like, you can't just be Logan Brown. Like, you got to be Logan Brown that sells dick enhancement pills.
Yeah, exactly. And again, like, it probably had nothing to do with, like, if we could have gone the independent route probably and really toughed it out. And I was already teaching like guitar and shit, so we probably could have like doubled down on that and done the Tuck and Patty, who are they're jazz musicians. They're a jazz duo out of fucking, I don't know, Seattle or some shit. Probably could have done that and been okay, but it was just at that point there were so many near misses and so many like, is this the universe giving us a sign that maybe we should fucking try something else? So yeah,
I went to boner pills, but I feel like that was a misjudgment. But like, what do you think your thing that you would have sold would have been?
Oh God, man, I have no. Look at me. Look at me. Do you think I have any idea how to do merch or
jeggings?
And yeah, just straight up, man. Like
Riz courses.
Like, oh my God, I'm trying to figure out merch that I can sell, like
self-help books
on the road right now, like with comedy and with like some of my music shows, and all I can think of is like guitar pick necklaces. Are those still cool? Like if I put fucking
Logan Brown branded winter boots, perfect for the springtime.
Yes, there's cleats on these bad boys. There's cleats right there. They're built into the boots. Yeah, $60 at fucking Mark's Work
face
Warehouse.
on the bottom.
Yeah.
So did it kind of feel like everything was just out of your control? Because you even said like random situations would pop up, like the Weeknd's personal life's in flames right now. That's kind of feels like the reason why things aren't working out. Is that kind of what that would have been one of the reasons that pushed you out of the music industry?
Yeah, man. Like we were like, I hate using the words when people are like, I'm not religious, but I'm spiritual. It's like, you're a fucking douchebag. But there was definitely a lot of like, the universe is like just pushing us in a different direction right now. Like when she made the decision to stop doing music full time, her only dream in life was to sing with Michael Bublé. That was the only reason she didn't even care so much about like her music getting out there and getting heard. She wanted her music to be heard enough so that Michael Bublé heard it and wanted to sing with her.
Hey man, everyone wants to sing with the boobs.
Right. And it happened. She decided that month that she's like, I don't want to do music anymore. I want to start my own business and, blah, 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 blah. Went to a Michael Bublé concert in Toronto, got up on stage and sang with him that night. Yeah.
Called it.
Yeah. And I'm like, that is the universe. I'm like, that's the universe telling you you're going to be okay. If the universe just granted you your fucking music dream right there. So if you have any fucking reprehensions of what I should be doing in life, that is the universe saying, just do what you got to do because you've already done the thing that you wanted to do. So
it seems like you're kind of cool too. Like you made it clear that she was kind of the lead.
Yeah.
So were you cool living under someone else's shadow and just kind of seeing where things went, or was there a part of you that was like, fuck, I wish I was these people that we're in a meeting with, I wish I was the reason why they wanted me here rather than...
Honestly, I never really wanted to impress these people.
You're never jealous?
Yeah, jealousy. I wouldn't say jealousy. I do like the limelight, and there is a reason that like I perform solo most of the time. You know what I mean? Like unless the fucking paycheck is right. But I do like the limelight, and I do like being on stage and being like the center of attention. But this situation again, like I could only dream that this would have fucking become as big as it did. I'd never been in situations like this. And there were opportunities where it's like, okay, if my main goal is to be like the guitar player, I'm getting my wish right now. You know what I mean? If my goal is to be on Guitar Player magazine and have somebody ask me about like my gear and shit, then this could lead to that potentially. So why, don't fight it. Just kind of go along with it. But, and there were like, again, like I'm not in this relationship anymore. So there were obviously some personal differences that sort of had me to put it as nice I possibly can, like conforming into this box of like, maybe I'm just the guitar player that I later got out of as I started doing stand-up and realized that I really liked being in the limelight as like the guy. But at the time there wasn't really that much jealousy.
So you make the pivot to comedy,
right?
After leaving it all behind.
Yeah.
Just throwing all that music world way back.
As you're saying that, I'm just picturing him walking down a dirt road.
Me too.
Guitar strapped on his back, like orange kind of like
one last.
Yeah.
To the world out there.
Yeah, making it halfway down the road and then being like, wait, I actually want to sing songs about coming, and then running back and grabbing my guitar. Yeah.
So what do you have to like sort of credit your like sort of really quick ascent in the comedy world here in Ottawa?
I think a big thing, I don't know fucking anything about comedy. Like I've been doing it like 2 years.
It shows.
Oh, dude. Thank you, dude. Thank you for keeping me humble, man. Yeah, I appreciate that.
You like the attention.
I do.
You like the attention.
The thing that drew me to comedy was that it's like one guy. You know what I mean? Like that was. I hear that a lot from other especially like bigger like headliners in the country. That's like, oh yeah, that one guy was doing performance art. Like that was a big draw for them. But yeah, no. So the ego is massive. Make no mistake. But yeah, no, I hear a lot that your first couple of years is like learning how to have your own voice, which I already had because I was a musician. So I was very comfortable on stage with a microphone. I was already doing bits too when I would do like shows. Like I used to have this I still do it, but it's like, hi, my name is Logan Brown. I'm blankety blank years old and I make music for a living, which is a fancy way of saying that I don't actually have a job. Mm-hmm. And like, old folks just fucking, this guy fucking, he's Bill Cosby. He's so funny.
It's a knee slapper for them.
Yeah. They just fucking, they would die. And literally, they were all very old.
We're just gonna glaze over the Bill Cosby job.
Yeah, I was really hoping one of you guys would jump in.
What's wrong with Bill Cosby?
Yeah.
What's wrong with that guy? He's a legend.
Role model to you, eh?
Yeah.
Dude, this guy got me a Bill Cosby vinyl.
I thought it was funny. It was.
Yeah. No, like again,
the worst part is I played it that day.
Listen, man, like terrible human being. Fucking terrible human being. I will not. I don't even like using the word "but."
I don't even know if I should let you say this next part.
He started storytelling comedy. Like the man started, like it was all set up punchline. Like, oh, yeah, my wife, she cooked she said, take out the trash. I said, well, you cooked it. Why should I take it out? Whoa. And then a fucking bow tie spins. Like that was comedy up until Bill Cosby. And then he was like, I gave my kids chocolate cake for blah, 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 you know, like that. That was the. So yeah, between him and Richard Pryor, they're like the godfathers of.
I was gonna say he was after, right?
Pryor was after. Yeah.
Pryor was okay.
Yeah.
George Carlin too was up there.
Yeah, George Carlin. Like these guys were like, we would have people just. I'm not that there's anything wrong with that, but it would just be jokey joke, comedy.
Yeah. Bill Cosby had like a huge problem with Richard Pryor too, just for like how dirty his content was. Like there's a couple stories of Richard Pryor being pulled aside by Bill Cosby.
Eddie Murphy too.
Yeah. Being told cut that shit out.
Yeah.
I heard Eddie Murphy telling a story once where he was like, man, at one point in Hollywood or just in comedy, there could only be one black guy that was on top. He was like, man, like I got pulled aside by Pryor, and like I would get in beefs with him, and it would be the opposite for like when Pryor with Bill Cosby. And shit like that. It was crazy. So we'll get into like that kind of stuff later. But I want to know about your come up first, because
for sure,
you went from really talented musician and then boom, right away, super talented comedian. 2 years into the scene, you have a special coming up already, which is unheard of.
Oh, thanks, man.
So it's like, how does that happen?
Oh, it's called it's called Black Man White Privilege because
he's got a good tan.
Yeah, it's a great tan. Man, it was just I always loved comedy. I would say comedy was like my first love, but it just seemed so alien to me as a kid, because like my favorite comics were like Andy Kaufman. Okay. I like George Carlin a lot, I like Richard Pryor a lot, and it just seemed so, because that's the idea of it. Like the ruse is that this person has been working this material and it's like a polished act, and they get up on stage and they perform this like polished special in front of thousands of people sometimes, and they go like, oh, it sounds like this guy's just my friend and he's just like talking to me as my friend. Whereas like music, you watch somebody play the guitar and it looks like wild sometimes when you see somebody play an instrument, but then you go like, oh, it's practice. Like that person practiced, like you practice talking. Like that was like, you couldn't fucking fathom that. So I went into music first, but I was always listening to comedy podcasts. Like there was a time when I stopped listening to music unless it was for work. Like I would listen to the radio so I could get like 10 more songs to add to my set, and then I would listen to comedy podcasts. And there's always a section in comedy podcasts where they talk about first timers doing stand up, what it was like to bomb, and then I knew what it wasn't. I knew I couldn't go up there and be like knock knock, you know what I mean? Like waka waka. And so it was just like finding my voice, like like finding my pacing on stage, like my own pacing on stage. Not trying to emulate other people, which like you do it anyways. Like even as like I've been playing guitar for fucking almost 15 years now, and it's like there are still licks that I will play where I'll be like, that's Jimi Hendrix, like that's a Stevie Ray Vaughan lick, that's a fucking John May, you know what I mean? So, as a comic, it would like everything really fell into place when I started bringing the guitar up. I was really nervous about, like I had a solid 10 minutes of just regular stand-up. Like like me bombing in like a paid setting, like whether it was not necessarily like an open mic, well, even at open mics sometimes, but like if it was a club or like I was on the road doing a road gig or was some fucking brewery show or something, if I was just doing that 10 minutes, I had a hard time not doing well. You know what I mean? But when I brought the guitar on stage for the first time, that was when everything really fell into place, and I was like, "Oh fuck! Like this is something nobody else does." First off, in Ottawa right now. So
and like I mean, a good song burns through 3 minutes of your act. You know what I mean?
That was the thing, man.
So do you find it to be like a bit of a cheat code?
A little bit. It's hard though. Like it's a cheat code once it's done. Once it's done and it's good and it's been tested a whole bunch of times. But when you're bombing a 3 to 5 minute song and you like. Because I've seen comics like get into a bit. Like Bobby Knopf is one of my favorite comedians. He's an Ottawa dude, like one of my favorites. And I've done enough shows with him on the road in front of like white-haired, people that are not into sex material. I've watched him start a sex joke and then be like, "You guys don't want to hear this," and start something else. I cannot do that with a song. Once I start a song, I'm in. Like,
you're
it's
there.
like,
But you bought the ticket. You're taking the ride.
Yeah. Like fucking being starting dirty material and being like, you guys don't want to hear dirty material is the sign of a professional. Starting a comedy song and then being like, you guys don't want to hear a song about me getting pegged, that's a coward. Like, it's like, no. You're 3.5 minutes. You're going to hear me. You're going to hear about me getting fucked in the ass. All right. Like, this is how it's going to go.
That must be so demoralizing on stage as no one's laughing as you talking about getting pegged in the ass.
Bro.
Clutching their pearls.
It doesn't happen very often, but like when it happens, like I did a show in Maniwaki on Valentine's Day and it was a dry bar. It was like half capacity, but they said it was sold out because they only had a limited number of tickets, and it paid really well. But I bombed like my dick off. That was like my Golden Goose song, and I bombed that whole song, and then had to bring up like one of the greatest headliners in the world, like right after, and he gets on stage and he's like, "So you guys like the last hour listening to young fellas talk about their dicks?" And I was just like, "Oh God!" Like. My heart hurts right now.
It's equivalent to getting pegged, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Pegged in the heart, man.
Yeah, pegged right in the heart. Yeah.
So that's the name of it. That's a good name for an album or something.
Pegged in the heart.
Pegged in the heart.
Yeah.
Because it feels like you're at a place right now where you can go on stage for a half hour and just kill it, but you're also still learning how to become a more polished comedian where it's that whole reading a room kind of thing where it's like I can read a room, but when I need to pivot and go to other places, do you feel like you're able to do that yet?
Yes. Yeah. I just started writing like newer songs that are, well, I have one song that's like less dirty, like not even, there's no cussing in it at all.
Okay.
And I have a couple that are like relatable to older folks that don't want to hear shit like that, which like old people fuck too. Like there's some filthy fucking old people. You know what I mean? Like most of the time the sex material works really well. I think my biggest mistake, if I could go back with like the 30-35 minutes that I'm going to record, is like, I know I'm going to do fine where I'm recording it because I know like I'm bringing people that love me as well as like audiences that have never seen me before under one roof. Like it's going to be a good night. I'm not, it's going to be a great night. But if I could go back, I probably would have like given up the idea of like wanting to write this weird concept album about kinks, because each song is about a different like sexual sort of act, and then I put all that together under this like funny joke umbrella.
Cumbrella.
Yeah, this fucking cumbrella, dude. See, still learning
pun guy.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Yeah,
it was right there. Honestly, you guys are kind of stupid for not seeing
it. Call yourself a comedian, bro.
right.
Yo, edit that out too, man. In Ottawa, man.
Yeah.
I'm this fucking guy.
Yeah. Actually, take the racist thing that I said and make him say it, and then make me say cumbrella. Yeah. Okay, wait. Yeah.
I think it's a good point though, bringing up the cheat code, because I'm personally like, I'm not a fan when it comes to the musical comedians. Yeah. And I've tried listening to it and I'm like, always
a lot of shitty ones.
A lot of shitty ones,
man. A lot of guys that are just like tee-hee funny that take it to a stage, and like, don't forget, like when you're watching somebody special, like let's forget for a second that it's very easy to go and find a free clip of laughing and clapping and sync that into the audio.
Dude, I'm in media. I've never even thought of that.
Yeah,
people do
honestly,
that.
Yeah, that's
people.
A
lot of people do that.
I'm thinking too. I'm like,
that's crazy.
That's fucking genius.
Yeah, a lot of people do.
We should add laugh tracks in our podcast.
You can't control like a crowd. You know what I mean? Like some people just are shitty comics, and they just fucking end up having shitty nights and are like, all right, we got to doctor the shit out of this fucking special. And some people are just like, yeah, man, I'll shoot my fucking I'll shoot my special at the Ryman, and then the crowd at the Ryman sucks. You know what I mean? And they did it only one night because they only had the budget for one shoot, and they're like, oh, all right, well, I believe in these jokes, so why don't we just doctor it up a little bit?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I think you're different though when it comes to musical comedy, because I remember like you were in here recording your podcast, and that's when I first came to know you, and then you're like, come see me live. I checked out your show and I was like, holy shit, like this is different. It's completely different for me. And I think it's because you can actually sing.
Oh, thanks.
Because there's a lot of comedians that do the singing thing.
Yeah, and they try to be goofy with it and shit.
Yeah, and it's like the jokes are like whatever, and their singing's whatever. Whereas like your writing's really good behind the jokes, and you can actually fucking sing. So I can listen to it for 30 minutes straight rather than some guy. I'm just like, holy fuck. Like,
yeah. Well, my mantra is like, even if you don't find the song funny, it's gonna be stuck in your head. And that's that's the one thing that helps me. Like, if the joke is bombing, it's like I know the pegging song is catchy enough and the hook is catchy enough that it's like you're gonna be driving home and you're gonna be like, you want to peg me? Fuck, Margaret, I knew we should have went bowling. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to be here. Like, nobody wants a hand job. Fucking shit, So Yeah, man, I appreciate that because it's like I don't like shitty musical comedy, and when you first start and all your peers are like, there's a lot of really cool people in the Ottawa scene, but like there's some people that have been like, you know, micers for like 10 plus years, and they're just really jaded. And their idea of like what's funny and what's hack, and I mean, like some people do it just because it's a release. The same way some people like only play music at open mics because they just want to play 3 fucking songs they know really well. Like not everybody is in it because they like want to see how far they can take it. But it like when you're around that environment, you do get in your head sometimes like, oh, am I really hacky for bringing my guitar on stage? And then it wasn't until I started doing like Yuck's road gigs where I had guys like Casey Corbin being like, oh yeah, because Adam Sandler doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, dude, just bring your fucking guitar on stage. Like, if you kill, you're making it easier for everybody. Like, who cares?
Did you feel that a lot at the start? There was intimidation in the comedy scene?
Yeah. No, absolutely. Like, when I first brought it on stage, I, like, asked everybody's permission if I could. And they were like, yeah, bro, we don't care. Just keep it under 6 minutes. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. But it was, I was super nervous when I first started doing it. So,
because I think it is a cheat code, like you were saying, but it also still, like, the jokes still have to be there for it to be good. Yeah, absolutely. I mean? So it's not like, oh, I can sing, so it's got to still be funny at the end of the day.
But also, does maybe it not? Like, can you sort of hide less than writing with, you know, like, good musical content?
Yes.
Like, if you're like, you know what? That's about 80% good as a joke that I like without music, right?
Yeah,
like, If I wrote 100% good, like, non-musical joke, this is 80% good, but, like, I can, you know, add a little bravado and guitar to it, and it's going to bring it up, right? And trick people.
Absolutely. Yeah. But I mean, there's like that with anything. You know what I mean? Like there's like, fuck, what's an example? Like Lady Gaga versus, I don't know, Britney Spears. Like, both of them are superstars. You know what I mean? Britney Spears proved that you don't have to write your own music. Right. You know what I mean? Lady Gaga writes all of her own shit, or at least like writes the bulk of her music with like her fucking trusted team of writers. But it's like one of them, they're both millionaires. Like, you know what I mean? Which one's famous is probably a debate. Who's contributed more to pop music? I mean, some would say fucking technically Britney Spears probably has contributed more to pop music, and it's, you know, the popularization of like the bubblegum pop thing. But like at the end of the day, one of them writes their own shit, the other one doesn't. One of them I would rather listen to than the other. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, there's like definitely hackier dudes that are more successful than me, that write shittier jokes than I do, maybe. But it's like, I don't know. Like, I think what I do is gonna, like, you know, it's gonna break through to people that are gonna fuck with me. So
yeah, you have your comedy special coming up.
Yeah.
We're shooting it.
Yeah,
I'm looking super forward to that.
I'm really looking forward to it, man.
That's honestly one of the biggest projects I've wanted to tackle for a couple years is shooting a comedy special. I'm glad it's yours because I've seen your act. I like it. I'm already picturing. I think this comedy special, from a visual standpoint, our end is going to be great, and from a comedic standpoint, for you, I think like the material's great. I've seen it before.
Thanks, man.
So
thank you. Yeah.
Do you feel like there's pressure behind it because it is a bit ambitious doing it just 2 years into your career? Or are you feeling really comfortable? Like, fuck it, let's just get
I'm feeling really comfortable. I would like a couple more practice shows just to get, because it's like I've been working the music so much. I've let like I want to tighten up the stand at the first like 10 minutes of the set of the show like a little bit more. But it'll get there. I'm not super concerned. Like, the biggest issue for me, honestly, was making sure I could finance it properly. And then I had a grant go through. Because musicians can get grants because the Canadian government views music as an art but not comedy. So as a musician, I was able to secure a grant.
You found a fucking loophole,
baby.
That's because comics are low lifes, though.
That's straight up, man. I mean, honestly, like, again, getting up there and being like, fucking my dick, and then being like, I'm an artist. You know, like, you know, like, it's,
You
comedy is art,
and
relax, sass.
Tax-paying dollars should go to you talking about how no one wants hand jobs up there.
Straight up, man. Absolutely. Yeah, no. So I was able to get a grant. That doesn't mean the budget goes up, but I was able to get a grant, so I'm not concerned about.
We had it in writing. You already said yes. You can't. No take back.
They only gave me $12, but so
pack of CCs.
yeah. So I'm no longer concerned about like financing it. Now it's just making sure that everything is like crystal. So, and this one, because I've been slipping on the full band record a little bit. I'm doing another half of the album, which is all these songs with a band. And that is more the fun thing. Like, I'm like, there's pressure to that as well because I'm also dumping money into that. But like, this is the one that I'm gonna shop around to SiriusXM. That one is like, it'd be really cool to get a bunch of dudes with jazz degrees to be like, no, you got to come in on the one, and then when he says suck my big black cock is when you want to come in with the fucking meow 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 meow. You know what I mean? Like that's been a fucking treat. Honestly,
can I come hang out there? Just to clarify, can I come hang out during those sessions?
Yeah.
I just question didn't end there.
It's so funny, like because I have a bunch. All my not funny enough for the stage songs are going into that one because it's like it doesn't matter. You're not whether the audience laughs or doesn't laugh. Like the drummer is too loud, like the guitar solos are too loud. You're not going to be able to hear anybody regardless. But what's been really funny because I have one song that's like a 12 bar blues in A that's called I Gotta Know If Squirt Is Pee. And it's just like literally like just old blues, like I gotta know if squirt is pee, like you know, like stops and shit, like fucking. I know you can't control it. I know it's not your fault, but it's your pH unbalanced, baby, because it kind of tastes like salt. Like it's just fucking, like it's so fucking funny. And then at the end we do this weird like synchronized like bow bow down 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 down. Wah, wah. It's so fucking, and I'm crying while we're doing this because it's like. You know, I have like two of the strongest like rhythm players in Ottawa right now with like fucking degrees out the yin yang being like, yeah, when he says squirt, you're going to go to the 5 chord. You know, it's just like, Jesus, man, what is happening? The bass player taught me a chord the other day. He's like, do you know how to make a 13 chord? I'm like, this is a song about lady jizz, dude. He's like, trust me, it's going to work. Yeah.
It's like drawing a mustache on the Mona Lisa, you know what I mean?
Bro.
Or like when you have like your art textbooks just drawing dicks on all the statues.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
I get you.
That's fucking awesome.
It's amazing the amount of musicianship that's going into some of these songs, man. Like, yeah, it's wild.
How do you write your shit? Are you just fucking around the car, just like nobody wants? Okay, yeah, that's good. No hand jobs are good.
Usually starts with a premise.
Okay,
I find a premise. I try to find like a premise that I think is like really funny, and then I'll try and build like a song off of that. Usually starts with the chorus. And then from there, I will do like you know, verses and riffs and stuff like that, and little licks and everything. I try to keep it, I don't know, like R&B jazz style, because I like to have a specific genre that I'm like doing. But obviously, like the hand job song is like a campfire chord thing, and like I have a song about fucking dogs and shit that's like, you know, got campfire chords and whatnot. But no, for the most part, it's like starts with a premise, then it goes to the chorus. And then from there, I just build the verses and try to make jokes and everything. The rule of thumb, which is a terrible saying, but the general rule is that the first verse is the misdirect. It's the same thing with the hand job song. The hand job song starts off like we're meeting at the bar. Everything's going great. We get in the cab. She wants to take me home. Then she's giving me a hand job, and then the first joke is just the chorus.
Right.
You know, and that first joke has to be so funny that hearing it a second time when I do the chorus, because it's the chorus, doing it a second time doesn't really detract. Like I'm still getting laughs in the second chorus. So that's the most thought goes into that. Because then once the second verse comes in, the mystique is gone. It can just be dick joke after dick joke after dick joke. You know,
just cramming those dick jokes down their throats.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
Is it tougher working out? Musical bits when compared to just normal stand-up, because you just wrote a whole fucking song, there's verses and choruses, and the crowd's not rocking with it. You're like, fuck, like I can't just tweak a couple lines, or is it like that still?
No, it's exactly the same.
So same
I can
thing.
still, because I have like a bunch of songs that I've changed like lyrics up or like jokes haven't hit, so I've swapped out lines and stuff like that. And it's just, again, you just listen to the whole thing, record yourself, whatever didn't hit where you thought it was going to hit, like then you just go back and just tweak it a little bit. So
okay, so. What's next? After this comedy special comes out, I've heard rumblings. People are trying to pull you down to Toronto. You know what I mean? So like, what's the next move after this?
I'm going to Toronto as soon as I finish recording it. I want to go and like network with a lot of the cool headliners that I've met are all like Toronto guys. So like I want to go up, hang out with them, like pick their brains. The guy that I want to help me distribute the thing to help me get it on Sirius XM is a Toronto dude. So I want to meet up with him and then just spend the week like. I've done stand-up a handful of times in Toronto, but it would be nice to go down there and just like, I know this stuff's not going to bomb, but I really do want to show You know, like, hey, I'm another musical they have a couple more down there, but it's be like, hey, I'm a musical comedian. Like you have the upper hand in that you stand out, especially if it's done well. Like you stand out as a musical comic because not a lot of people do it. So
even if they don't remember the songs, you know, like, oh, the guy who sang though, he was good.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I almost won the fucking Mike McDonald comedy competition because they would just put the guitar guy on my ballot when they were voting for me. You know what I mean? Like
that's true. Actually, I feel like because whenever we leave a comedy show, we're like, oh, the guy with or the guy that some physical trait.
That's Canadian entertainment business, man. Nobody fucking knows anybody.
The singing guy did pretty good.
They go to the States, they become famous, and then Canada goes, they're fucking born and bred here. But it's like when you're here, nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, how do you feel about some of these comedy festivals that go on in Canada, like Just for Laughs? You know what I mean? Put it on.
As someone that is showcasing for Just for Laughs in May, I think they're great. I think they're fantastic, and I think they're a Canadian institution that should keep doing what they're doing.
It's not what you said before.
Yeah.
When we didn't have the camera, that was nonsense.
It's all jokes here at Down to the Wire. Just for Laughs, love you. Thank you for having me.
Are you excited meeting some of these Americans that are going to be there?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'm not going to the festival yet. I'm just showcasing.
Okay.
Yeah. I've got to pump the brakes on that.
So. Okay. I hear you.
I can't get in my head because I was in my head about the Mike McDonald competition. Like, you know, already cashing checks. You know, and being like, I'm getting $1,000 anyways. Let's buy a new guitar, and then fucking, you know, third place stings. Anyways, but So, but I'm just showcasing right now, but. I'm really looking forward to it. It's just nice to be like acknowledged because I would, you know, this time I've only been doing it a short amount of time. So it's like this time last year when all of my friends were showcasing, I would always be like, that's going to be me next year. And then it was. And so now I'm like, fucking, you know.
That's a dope feeling, man.
Yeah. I could be more thrilled about it, honestly. Yeah.
Set achievable goals.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
That's what I was saying, man.
For sure.
It's good to have big ones, but you got to have ones that make you feel good on a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly basis.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, like, I really just
maybe even every minute, just set a goal.
Yeah.
The Ascent has been fun to watch, man.
Thanks, dude. Thanks.
It's been really cool.
It's been
really cool.
a lot of fun doing it. I really didn't think like sometimes it's like a pinch me situation, and then sometimes I'm like, well, I did end a 7-year relationship to continue to do this morning, noon, and night, so I guess it kind of fucking makes sense, you know? Like, you know.
Do you ever have those moments where you're just in a garage and want to wrap your lips around an exhaust pipe, though, or is it mostly like
Jesus?
Well, yeah.
You ever just look at a gun and think how that metal would feel pressed against your temple?
I started doing comedy because I tried to take my own life.
And that's what got you into it.
Yeah. I was like, I looked at a bottle of Tylenol and I was like, maybe. Like, you know, I'm going to go do stand-up tonight. And if I don't do well, I am seriously going to plan this.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming it went well.
It did. Yeah, it did. Which is now that I know, and I did it at a music open mic too. So now that I know how fickle open mic crowds are and how shitty music open mic crowds are, I believe there's a God. I fully believe there's a God because it's like never in a million years.
The universe, man, the universe.
Yeah,
It's like, hey, let's just cut this guy a break here.
Yeah, I listened to fucking Che DeRena's Tales from My Butthole comedy album. Who is like, everybody knows him as the Follow Me, You Fucking Idiots guy, but is a monster comedian, monster fucking comic, and deserves all the success that he's getting from TikTok. And I'm so happy that it's like, he's now not just the Follow Me, You Fucking Idiots guy, because nicest dude in the world and a great headliner. I was like, you know, I kind of like got to the end of my ropes and thought that, you know, COVID was going to be like this forever, and I wasn't going to be an entertainer, and I had no interest, like even I went months without even touching the guitar, and I was just like, I'm just this guy who goes to his day job and comes home and, you know, sits on the couch and waits for death. You know, and I was like, well, fucking, I may as well speed up the process. And it went down. Honestly, I still have it recorded. It was a mediocre set. I got maybe 3 laughs, but that was enough.
It was enough.
Yeah. So,
fuck, man, that's crazy. It's just, does it feel like you're on the right path now? You know, you had all those ups and downs in the music industry, and then comedy kind of saved your life.
Pretty much, man. Again, as ridiculous as that sounds, like saved. Yeah, for sure. No, yeah, man. It's because all the people that I've met, like all my best friends now are comedians, and I know you're supposed to have a life outside of comedy in order to fuel the comedy and everything. Right. But it's like everybody that I hang out with is so fucking fun, and like again, you meet some weird people in the entertainment business, and like weird comics. There's a chance that it's a bit, weird musicians are like really fucking weird people.
Oh yeah, dude.
Oh man,
like hockey goalies.
Oh bro,
Weird to the bone.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah. It's like in their like I've hosted some open. Well, I host an open mic every Wednesday in Brockville. But it's like I've hosted music open mics before, and it's just like I'll watch somebody do their fucking weird poetry set while they play like a bass ukulele, and I'm like, oh, this is funny. And then I'm like, he's not trying to be funny right now. This guy's like, oh my god, like I'm like, he's gonna kill someone. Like everybody clap really loud when he finishes these fucking songs, okay? Like
it's always like has like a crow on his shoulder.
yeah,
like,
dude. Like honestly, man, like takes a bite of his pet rat in between the songs. Like you're like, Jesus. Like,
Jonah Hill doing slam poetry, but like for real.
yeah,
He's
yeah,
not
no,
trying to get
straight
laughs.
up. Yeah, Julia Rob Hertz. You know, like,
Oh, dude.
yeah, yeah.
All right, we do a little thing here on the Down the Wire. What are you saying?
Sorry, the way I was sitting really hurt
Oh,
my
okay,
legs
for
there.
you.
Just had to
7th inning
that
stretch.
there. Yeah. Everyone get up now. No, I'm kidding.
7th inning stretch. That's so funny.
We do a little thing here at the Down the Wire podcast.
Yeah.
Do the back page news. We
Okay,
get to some weird headlines circulating the world that we dig up, dude. Because we're journalists too, man.
Can I get loungy with this? Like, can I get fucking
yeah. All right, scroll up to the headline, man. Get your head out of the way too. Yeah, shout out Dan. Shout out Dan. Producer Dan's putting in the work for Coleman. First headline we got here reads, John, take it away.
Stop masturbating and go to the front. Russian mercenary group Wagner launches porn site recruitment drive. So this mercenary group called Wagner has been running ads on Pornhub that's like, comrades, stop jerking. I can't do a Russian accent, but this essentially that it's just a call to action to like able-bodied men that are on porn sites and like, hey, you're doing your country a disservice right now.
Yeah, here's the actual thing. It says, we are the fucking greatest private military company in the world. Stop masturbating and go to the front. Take the other barrel in your hand is their slogan.
Yeah.
How do you feel about propaganda in your porn videos?
I think that's a stupid place for military prop. Do you know how hard it is to stop coming?
Dude, and I'm into edging, dude.
Bro, yeah, no, straight up, man. Like I I mean, that would be the greatest edge. Could you imagine stopping, killing a man, and then finishing your nut?
Not even that.
Chasing that nut, dude.
Not even that, but like stopping, going through the process of joining the military boot camp, making it to the front lines, and then killing a Ukrainian man.
Bro.
Crazy.
Also have a humiliation fetish, just getting ripped apart by your sergeant and also humiliated.
People are so scared. Like, what the fuck is Igor doing in his bed every night? He just like breathes heavy and then stops and just punches his pillow. Like, what the fuck? Finally, just fucking boom, 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 boom,
15 kills.
furiously jerks onto the fucking corpse.
15 kill streak. He's almost got the chopper gunner though.
Yo, his
whatever
fucking,
he's doing, it's working.
His fucking KD ratio's popping. His nut to death ratio, fucking kill to nut ratio.
He can only come after he's killed a man.
Bro.
That's
no, what a stupid place to have fucking
no one ever buys the boner pills. Like, what makes you think they're gonna join your mercenary group?
I have no, you know what, bro? I've never seen that fucking ad where it's like, it'll grow your dick 2 inches. Like I literally like, as I'm jerking it, I'm like, no, you know what? This is good enough for me right now. Actually, I'm not going to enjoy this more if I'm larger. You know what I mean? Like that's gay. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I need a bigger dick for me. Like, you know, what are you talking about, dude?
I do it for me.
Yeah.
I do it for my health.
Yeah.
It's funny though, because it is a very personal thing. Like, fuck, big dick, big dick. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're saying it's a good size to yourself in the mirror.
Yeah.
Like, fucking, yeah. The big ones hurt. Like, what the fuck? What is he doing?
Pornhub ended up taking the ad down.
Right.
So I think it's funny they're taking this down, but not some other shit that's up there that's highly questionable. I don't know. I guess just because it's propaganda, I guess.
Well, I mean, they are trying to get people to join a militia to fight against the Ukraine.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
You're wasting at worst. You're wasting $100 if you buy those fucking like dick growth pills. Like you're not like this is you know.
Yeah. Like this is the thing about those pills. I feel like you take them, you grow a tail. You know what I mean? Like it's going in backwards. You know what I mean?
We're gonna give you 8 extra inches in the back. Like, what?
What does that even mean?
Yeah.
Where does that 8 inches go?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty harmless. This way, you're just contributing to CNN right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry, would you guys something to say?
No, I just, yeah. I feel like you're going to get the people they're targeting, though, that like, I feel like they're going to get a very specific group of people to come and register after this, run this ad. And I think it's exactly who they were looking for, though. You know what I mean? Like any person who answers this ad is exactly who a mercenary group is looking for. You
Absolutely.
know what I mean?
Yeah. Even if they've got one guy, but it's one guy whose like hands are insured by the Russian government because he's a fucking weapon.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like
anyone who answers this call is lethal.
Yeah. No last name, just like a fucking adjective. Ivan the Destroyer.
Yeah.
Like that's fucking. You know what I mean?
You are a fucking psycho though if you start spanking it to go join the military. I think they'd want you.
You'd have to be just loaded up. Like you'd have to open it and be like, what should I? Oh. And then you go, you know what I mean? Quick close. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Retention time on that has to be quick.
Yeah. Nut mine can't kick in yet.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Pull up the next headline here, Dan. But that was by the Kiev Post, by the way.
The Kiev Post. Where the fuck do you find these things, man?
Dude,
don't worry about it.
We dig, dude.
Yeah.
We dig.
Bro, this makes me so furious that like Ruckus has done what we've done by just showing up and being like, you're fat. You know, like that's fucking so dumb. Like you guys put so much work. Like, fucking charge us more money, dude. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Make us be better.
Yeah.
All right, next
a
headline.
Ruckus down to the wire collab has to be in the works, though.
Yeah, no,
It almost
absolutely does.
happened once, didn't it?
It did almost happen once.
It almost
actually.
happened once.
Yeah.
All right. Gods in the machine. The rise of artificial intelligence may result in new religions.
Absolutely.
What do you think?
Yes.
What do you think about AI?
I will. Yeah, absolutely. Take it all away from me. Take it all.
You
Like,
want it to just...
I just fucking...
Honestly, if this thing starts making my decisions, that leaves me with like so much less to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the thing that frustrates me about it is like everybody that's so pro AI.
Right.
Like truthfully, anyone that's like pro AI is just like, it's gonna be great when we have no more jobs. It's like, yeah, but like they're still gonna make us pay for stuff.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like groceries did not get cheaper when we started checking out our own shit. In fact, they got more expensive.
Yeah.
So it's like when you're like, well, what fucking life will be great when there's no more mailmen and it's all fucking robots delivering our stuff. And it's like, yeah, but now I'm not only out of a job, but like everything on Amazon that I am getting delivered by this robot is fucking 10 times more money because they can, you know, like that's fucking, yeah.
I feel like chatbot AIs can also write very similar, you know, like a Bible, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the Bible is pretty, it seems like that was written by ChatGPT sometimes. Like if you actually read a couple pages of the Bible, you're like, what the fuck?
It says a lot of stuff without saying a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
I saw a video of 2 drones playing volleyball today.
Really?
Facts.
Really?
Up like way up in the air. Like 13th, 14th story level skyscraper just hitting about volleyball back and forth to one another. That's how it ends, man. First volleyball, next nukes.
Next thing you know, they're fucking signing up to a militia without needing to jerk their dicks.
Exactly.
Like, that's fucking, yeah.
Robot militia is the scariest type of militia, Logan.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. They don't have to come. They don't have to come. Like,
They just kill.
Yeah,
they just kill.
What's wrong with these things? Fucking kick your shit over, not pull my shirt off.
Like that's
jump
what
out
I
the
mean.
window. Like
Rape and pillage doesn't mean anything. They just pillage.
Yeah,
they
man.
just
Yeah.
pillage.
Yo,
People, so we're gonna move on from that before people start thinking about what I just said too much.
Back when I was coming up,
yeah.
it used to mean something.
Kids today with their fucking like,
just pillaging.
Yeah.
Kids. What are these 5 characteristics here?
Yeah, now you want to. I said too much.
So this is the argument against it by like the churches.
Right.
It displays a level of intelligence that goes beyond the most humans. Indeed, its knowledge appears limitless. Honestly, I'm not going to read all these, but the last one says it's immortal. Or immoral.
You can't have the churches being the first people to take umbrage with this.
No,
That's
you
true.
can't.
No.
You can't have like
conflict of interest.
The Catholic Church cannot come out and be like, it's not right. You know what I mean? It needs to be white women with blue hair. Honestly, like you guys have to put this in your Instagram bios.
Yeah.
You are the only thing that can keep us as a fucking functioning society. Honestly, honestly, change your profile picture on Facebook to have like a thing that's like, I hate AI, and then all this will go away. But until then, like as long as the Pope is talking about it, like well, they'll just keep making
we need some
robots.
Take it from this guy sitting like that.
Yeah, bro. Honestly, like, as I mansplained to you your duty as a woman, like
As you
Get some Instagram infographics going on those
bro.
stories, ladies.
Like, honestly,
Come on,
like
step it up.
save us, please.
I think it was-
listen, I was there. Like, I'm a mixed race dude. Like, fucking, when that George Floyd shit happened, I was like, oh fuck, he like fucking what is it,
Daily
San
Black
Andreas?
Screens, yeah.
Like, here we go again.
Yeah.
And then some white women came around. I'm just saying, like, that was a lot of marching. That was a lot of marching. That was a sea of snow in those marches, straight up, dude.
Avalanche.
Like, yeah, fuck it. That was a straight up avalanche.
Sponsored
those
by
marches,
ASICs.
giving up their white privilege as they were crying in like Madison Square Garden, like denouncing their white privilege. Does not work. I have white privilege, and I am 50% Nigerian. Okay, like fucking, it doesn't work like that, ladies.
I think this could be a ploy though, like if the church tries to get ahead of it and just run a monopoly on all the new religions and just have control over all these new religions, you know?
Yeah.
I like
I think
how
we should all. I think new people that are being born should just only be forced into new religions.
I like how possible it is, you know, that this AI just writes a Bible, and then there's enough people who are just stupid enough to be susceptible to believing in this Bible curated by something that just doesn't exist.
Have you ever been to a Comic-Con?
Have you ever been to church?
Bro, like, yeah.
Like, wait a second.
Yeah.
This sounds like all other religion.
Yeah. No, bro, God's real. Hentai is fake. Honestly, like, fucking, this is ridiculous.
Next headline.
And there's been like 4 times the clip for the teaser reel for this, and I'm just like, yeah, that'll do.
So this Dallas journalist is fired for calling the mayor bruh on Twitter.
Yeah, so the mayor tweeted, he like tweeted just like some pretty black and white spreadsheet and was like, local media, news media doesn't want to report about the decline in crimes in Dallas. And then she just replied, and she's like, bruh, news media always focuses on the trends. And she lost her job 3 days later.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
That is, let's.
And do you know why, Logan, she lost her job?
Why?
It was because the mayor was white, right? But she
Okay.
had a black boss, and she's like, if the mayor was black, would you still have called him bruh?
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, I would. She's like, okay, you're still fired.
Yo.
Because apparently, yeah, bruh's derived from a black
African American
lingo.
vernacular.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I think that's fucking stupid. Again, as a half black man
So
that
your
talks like a
opinions-
white guy who has a very white pasty ginger friend who talks like a black man. Like, I think that shit's stupid. Yeah.
50% valid opinion.
Yeah, 50% valid opinion. It's the white half of me that's saying this. But what's the big deal, huh? Like, why can't I wear one of those Native American? I don't get it. I don't. It's like, I went to Coachella and paid for my ticket just like you people. Okay, no,
You people. Who people?
guys, the show's off. The album is not coming out. No, like, I don't know, man.
30 episodes of Ruckus and then one of Down the Wires. What
Straight up, dude. Yeah.
Like, you surround yourself with Kia and Liam, and this is what takes. Just leave it to your own devices.
Yeah. No, man, it's this is like fucking stuff like this hurts the movement more than anything. And there's always people that like, there's people on like a fringe side that disagree and are like, no, we have to fucking, white people cannot say, bro, white people cannot fucking shake hands like this. And you know what I mean? That
I just got good at it.
Yeah.
I just got good at
You
it.
cannot dab up your white friend. That's racism. There are people that believe that, but for the most part, it's like, no, it takes away the.
I didn't know people thought that sort of stuff.
I honestly, you know what? I'm doing the thing that conservatives do where I just make shit up. I don't know if they do get upset.
Cite your sources.
Yeah. I might have just made that up. No, but there are people that get upset about like dumb stuff like that. And I really think it's like just it's like just an aggression thing. Like, when you're having a shit day and like somebody just like moves your keys and that's the straw. You're like, what the who fucking moved my keys? But like getting mad at the moving of the keys means that the keys never get moved again for a time being. You know what I mean? And then you feel a little bit better. And that's all situation like that is. It's like we can't do anything to actually stop cops from fucking brutalizing, minorities. Unfortunately, we try, you know what I mean? Like, we can't stop fucking,
body cams aren't enough.
Yeah. Like honestly, man, like black people just stopped being caricatures in like movies and shit. You know what I mean? Like strong black characters, if they weren't played by Denzel or Samuel L. Jackson, in the early 2000s would have been like some dude named Tito. You know what I mean? Like that would have fucking, they would not, but now they're actually getting like real characters are getting written from the perspective of not just being, their skin tone and like a caricature of their ethnicity. And like that shit is beautiful, and it's happening because we're taking some of the bigger issues seriously. But looking at some of this smaller stuff, like the word bruh, get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Like that's not like that. Yeah, that's it. That is that's looking for a reason to fire this lady, just like they look for a reason to fire fucking Don Cherry with the You People.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like he was public enemy number one, and that was the straw, but they were building a case. You know what I mean? Like that was the You People situation. Was it really bad enough to get him fired? No, but everything else leading up to it, I guess, was enough.
Fair.
Saw the sexual harassment around the workplace.
Yeah. That was. They were like, "Fuck, we can't get him on that. Like, no one's gonna believe the guy in the fucking
Canadian legend."
Yeah.
I can still get it up. I'm shocked at that, bro.
Yeah.
He was like 86 too, wasn't he? He was old.
86, 85, 86. Yeah.
Damn, I wonder what he's doing now.
He's got a podcast.
Shut up,
Yeah,
he
bro.
does.
Yeah.
Man, that's like Mike
Imagine
Tyson
him doing ad reads.
Yeah, dude, like that's like Mike Tyson's podcast. Like Mike Tyson, they're like, "Hey, Mike, you're recording today," and he just shows up, sits down, and he's like, "Oh, Steve-O." Fuck, bro. Sick. I didn't even know we had you on today. And then he just rips for an hour and then gets the fuck out.
It's so funny too, because he's so popular and such an enigma that he'll have guests on that just want to talk to him about stuff.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
Dude,
like
he had Eminem on, and Eminem's like, "Mike Tyson, like, I'm your biggest fan, man."
Yeah,
and like that's Eminem, bro.
Yeah. Like that. Yeah, it's fucking. It's so funny.
I feel
so
like
funny.
I'm like, that's Eminem. Like,
you're
the
hero,
whitest
bro.
thing. Yeah. White savior Eminem, man.
Yeah. No, I don't even know who the guy was, but the dude asked him about like what made him like stop fighting. And he was just like, "Oh, my daughter died." You know what I mean? And it's like fucking, you're like, this is Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson got you on the podcast, and you're like, he's supposed to be interviewing you. You're interviewing Mike Tyson. Yeah. It's just like, it's wild.
Did he have like Bill Burr on the show, and they just
tripping
on mushrooms on some shit?
Yeah. That's funny.
That's a wild show. I hope we turn into that one day. We're just having mushrooms with fucking celebrities.
That'd be fantastic.
That'd be awesome. When you break it, you'll be our first mushrooms guest on the pod.
I will save doing mushrooms for the first time.
Okay.
Until I am popular enough to come back for a second episode on this podcast. And then I will do that on
You're
the
going to
podcast.
get so sweaty.
Yeah, bro. The sheen on my forehead is going to be fantastic.
And then we're going to do mushrooms, bro.
I could just see it.
Yeah.
So how's your comedy going? Like, so if you think about it, humans are just cells, and they're a part of these bigger cells that are families.
Every time I come, I'm worried I'm going to take a human life.
All right, man. Thanks for coming on the show, bro. Oh, my bad. Didn't mean to cut you off. But did you have anything else you wanted to add, or we good to wrap it up here?
Let's wrap it up, bro.
Do you have anything you want to tell the people?
No, just fucking, just follow me on all the, I'm sure it's in the description. I don't want to get yelled at the way Kia fucking yells at me, but at Logan Doing Stuff on all social media, and logandoingstuff.com for all of my dates. I got my music shows up there. If you're not into songs about cum, I just sing Wagon Wheel in the corner of bars for lots of money sometimes. And if you are into comedy, all my comedy shows are up there too, so you can fucking come peep that out. So
yeah, man. Check out his podcast too. That's Ruckus.
That's
shot
Ruckus,
here,
baby.
Good show, man. It's a good laugh. It's honestly the most fun podcast we have in studio when it comes to editing.
They filled my pockets with macaroni,
dude.
It was yeah.
That's a classic.
Bonkers, yeah. Like everything in one episode. I'm having a tearful. You know,
it was
with
a roller
the guys
coaster.
being like, I can't do this, you know, and then they fill my pockets with macaroni, and I'm in my underwear for half the episode, you know, and then I try to tell a story, and then I have the audacity to be like, I had a subpar order at McDonald's, thinking that would make a good fucking ending story for the podcast. Like, this guy kind of fucked up my order at Mickey D's, like fucking professional comedian.
It's a Liam-ass story, man.
That's a Liam-ass story, and it went on too long, and they didn't stop me. I'm pissed off, dude.
At least you always stop him.
Yeah, no, it was fucking
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Logan Brown, man. Best name on earth.
They're coming down to the wire. At the center's head.